Welcome in. What is up? It is Wednesday. I'm live. It's not exactly 3 p.m. Eastern time, but a little bit early. Thank you for tuning in. RBC Heritage Week, answering all your questions, all your concerns, all your comments. We'll go through my website. There's a lot to talk about. LIV might not exist anymore. I don't know. There's just a lot happening. Get your questions in. I'll go through as many as possible in the course of the next hour or so. But we are going to start with a variety of things that we're also going to pick the winner of the Masters Fantasy prize pack that I offered up at the Masters. We're going to pick that winner. We'll do that in like 3 minutes. So what we are going to do first is this. I was going to come in here and say, hey guys, listen, we really need to go fill the splash contest for this week, but we are on pace to fill this 16 and a half hours early. So what do I know, right? I mean, here we go. This has got to be the earliest we've ever filled a contest, and it was already bumped up $30,000 guaranteed. So maybe next week we ask for 40,000. I don't know, but listen, thank you all for filling this very quickly. Go support your other creators. There are other contests on Splash for tiers and everything else. Go support them. We've done our job here. So well done. Hat tip to you all. Weather for this week in Hilton Head looks, here I go again, looks very, very clean. Thursday and Friday, no more than 10, 11, 12 mile an hour winds. Of course, you're right there on the sound, the Cowbogie sound. And maybe it comes off a little bit more than that, but this looks like ideal conditions. And the fact that it is a signature event with no waves does not have me favoring any one of these waves. One and done. Using the Pool Genius projected popularity picks, they seem to think Russell Henley, Matt Fitzpatrick, Patrick Cantlay, Tommy Fleetwood, and Scotty Scheffler are all 3 dots, 8 to 14%. Yeah, I could see that. I think Henley definitely will be very popular. I think Fitzpatrick will be very popular. I think Cantlay will be very popular. And then I think there will be a gap. Some will use Scotty, but I don't think an egregious amount. I think there's a big 3 and then everybody else. I kind of like where Xander's at. We'll obviously talk about this through the entirety of the show, but that's where we're at. Okay, let's just do the fantasy thing. Let's just get that off my plate real quick here. So if you recall, we did a private Masters fantasy league. You guys, as always, showed out. 1,499 people. Almost 1,500. That's crazy. It has to be the biggest league on masters.com. So incredible stuff. What I said I would do, which by the way, Daryl's best picks won. Congratulations, Daryl. 48 under par. Rory for Prez finished in second. Now, what's interesting about this is they used a crazy tiebreaker, which was like how many total putts for everybody in the field. So that's why you see these guesses are like 8,000, 9,000. So what's cool about this, though, is that there are no ties. So I can draw a number and just get that exact spot. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So 1,499 people. I have loaded all of those into this wheel right here. We've used this wheel before. I'm going to draw it once. Whatever the number is, I am going to go in and find that person in the standings, and then I'm going to contact that person. If that person did not leave me their email address like they were supposed to, I'm going to go find another person after that. Okay. Now, I'm not going to do that part on the show. Hopefully the first person has given me an email address. This is for the Masters program tournament journal, the hat, and the graded Seve Ballesteros badge from 83, I think is the year. I don't have it in front of me, but we're going to draw the winner right now. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. One spin and one spin alone. I don't know if you can hear the graphics, but it sounds like, or the audio, but it sounds like Wheel of Fortune in my ear, but I'm not sure you guys can hear that. It's just going to pop up. It's impossible to tell with 1,500. Okay, 1,359. Wow. So someone who finished nearly dead last is going to get this. So 1,359. I hope they put an entry in. That would be a shame if they are going to win without putting an entry in. What was it? 1,359. Oh boy. Of course I have to navigate through like every. Oh boy, hold on. What's wrong with this website? Masters Fantasy. Okay, your leagues. Try this again. Your leagues. It did not like it when I went all the way to the end. So now I'm going to have to go through this like pages at a time. Oh, this is very exciting content, isn't it? It really did not like that I wanted to go down to the end there. Oh, it really doesn't like this. Did we break the site? What are we going to do here? Go to 60. Maybe I'll just give it a second to load. Oh, this is great. This is live television, people. This is just crazy things are happening. Is the Masters website broken? Oh, this is going splendidly. All right. 1359. Your leagues. All right. Mina is in the chat, and she tells me she's going to look through. Why? Well, let me see if I can keep going here. I'm at 400th. I'm at 500th. Oh my God, it's 20. Okay, see, it doesn't let me go. All right. Mina's going to try to find this. The suspense is growing. We will find out who wins that. I will get in touch with them. That's not how I was expecting that was to go. All right. Let's get into this. So here we go. Finn's fan says, I recommend you to Evero. Thank you. So Brian Campbell, quietly top 25 at Augusta with no cut here. Is he a viable salary saving option? Yeah, I think maybe I talked about him on Monday's show, or maybe I didn't, but I think it was in regards of like, hey, if you're ever going to play Brian Campbell, like a place where distance is not required, accuracy is rewarded, is the place to play him. That's really the end of it. Now, he gained like 11 strokes in the short game categories at the Masters, which is probably not going to happen again. But if you're ever going to play him in a place like this, or if you're ever going to play him, this would be a place to play him. Finished 32nd here last year. I think you would need to be pretty dire. I don't think the 6K range is as bad as it was last week, but I do think that there's like 3 or 4 spots you can play him every year, and this is one of them. Hey, Rick, I'm stuck in the middle of one and done. Are guys like Knapp, Straka, Goddard just too risky just to be different, or could I just be boring and play Tommy? Well, in a week like this, you could probably just play Tommy, right? I mean, maybe he's the 4th most popular player, but it's probably not going to be more than 15% or anything like that. In fact, it's almost certainly not going to be. So you could play Tommy here and not have to go that far down the board. I don't mind if you wanted to play any one of those guys, but since you pointed out Tommy, I don't mind Tommy so much. Knapp, Minwoo, or J-Day and Straka for DFS. Knapp and Minwoo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is easier to get into Scotty this week. Can we do a deep dive into Lipsky versus Campbell? Okay, so yeah, I agree with you. So remember last week we had a small cut, and the 6K range was basically everybody in, it was like the past champions, you had amateurs, and there really wasn't a ton of value in the 6K range. So we already talked about Campbell. Let's pull up Lipsky here. There's actually another question coming up about Lipsky. High risk, high reward, right? Second at the Valspar, misses the cut at the Houston Open, doesn't look particularly well. Missed the cut here last year, but it was really only losing 2 strokes putting, so I think that's okay because he's generally a pretty good putter. I would probably prefer Lipsky over Campbell. I mean, Campbell's like not that good. Lipsky at least makes more cuts, has higher upside, finishes inside the top 20 more often. Graham sent you. Oh, okay. Got it. I'm following now. I know exactly who this is. Thoughts on Penn, Stevens, and Harmon. Okay, so Sam Stevens to me is probably the most intriguing here. He's one of these just like I can get the ball in the hole kind of guys, and he is very, very good from tee to green. The putter has warmed up in 3 out of his last 5. The results are coming through as well. He's played here twice, not in consecutive years. He played here last year and he played in 2023. The only cut he's missed this year was at Bay Hill. I think that he is probably one of the most underrated players on the PGA Tour. I don't know if that's saying a lot or not. He's probably – I have no idea what his OWGR. I have no idea what his FedEx Cup standing are. But like when I think of Sam Stevens, I think he might be the 30th best player in the world. And that's really, really good. And the metrics are sound. He's solid. He's consistent. We're figuring out what the upside of this kid is, but he's playing in all of these events, and he's playing particularly well. Actually covered both of these guys already. So Lipsky, Ricky Castillo. I think I almost certainly talked about this on Monday. If I did not, I apologize. Or if I did, I apologize. If you ask me what Ricky Castillo does well, I don't know what I would tell you. If you ask me what he is poor at, I don't know what I would tell you. Because if you look at that, he has that X sign in his stat profile, which is basically something is not working every week, but he makes it up in other areas. It's not like he's consistently a great ball striker or he's consistently a great putter. That being said, excuse me, I played 18 holes this morning. I'm already pretty tired of that Florida heat. Really gets, not the heat, it's more the humidity. He's just better than, he just beats the field average, right? So that's like his last 10 events that I'm showing there. He's beaten the field in all but one, and it was the Players' Championship, which is shocking enough because I think he is from Jacksonville or plays out of Jacksonville. So it's like, okay. But I mean, he was a winner, finished 5th at the Cognizant. There's a lot to like about this. I'm in the middle of the pack. Okay. Let's have this one done conversation. I'm about 4 back. I haven't used Scotty. Should I deploy him here between him, Cantlay, and Xander? I'm okay if you want to use Scotty here. For the most part, if you want to use Scotty in any signature event with a, no cut, which helps him because he gets 4 guaranteed rounds at an event that he's won before, you cannot go wrong. Okay. That checks off all the boxes. I have opted, and I did go with Scotty in the entries that I have not used Scotty. I did use Scotty, but I also led with Xander. And I don't know if I love this. I think I like it. I mean, he is the second favorite. He's got the second shortest odds, and he's probably going to be the 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th most popular player. So right there, the difference between those two things feels like I have a little bit of leverage. The thing that stands out to me with Xander is it just seems like he makes 1 or 2 stupid mistakes every tournament, and he costs himself 3 or 4 strokes, and that's why he doesn't contend. But we've got the 3rd at the Players, the 4th at Valspar, the 10th or the 9th, at the Masters, and the ball striking is insane. He gained over 7 strokes on approach, both at the Players and the Masters. He gained over 5 at Valspar. The way this is setting up, and we've talked about this before, he is, the putter hasn't been as good as it was in 2024. Obviously, it was a year he won 2 major championships, but there is definitely more to squeeze out of this profile. So I actually think that Xander's floor is very high. And I think that there's like 5 strokes that you could potentially get into a ceiling on. So I went with Xander as kind of my anchor. 3 straight top 18 finishes here, 4th a couple of years ago. That's where I went. Yeah, anytime, what's the rule? Anytime Nico Echeverria can see the water, you have to play it, right? Coastal golf course where accuracy matters. And the thing with Nico is you're trying to time him, which is good or bad. He doesn't really ever foreshadow great weeks. Look at this run here. So it was like 4th, cut, 8th, cut, 1st. And now he's in the middle of a stretch of 44th, 66th, cut. Like, okay. That's the thing with him is you just know the upside is in there. When everything clicks, he's going to be just fine. You can use Scotty here. If you're going to use Henley, you should probably be maybe in the top 10 or 20%. I think he's going to be very popular. I think he's going to be the most popular. Everybody after that, you can feel pretty comfortable with. Are we vibing with Daniel Berger? The man, him and Sahith are the 2 that I get wrong more than anybody. Let's look. The history here is fantastic, though it is last year and then 2022, 2021, 2020, when he was a much better player, though he played great here last year. Leading into this week, Bay Hill was awesome. Everything else has been below average. Sony was good too. A lot of inconsistencies across the board. I'm probably not going to play much of Berger, but I get him wrong every single time. Hey, Rick, who are your top fades and dark horses? All right. Let's look at this. So fade wise, and I guess this depends on like what we're talking about, right? Like I'm probably not going to play Tommy Fleetwood in one and done, but that's just because I like Xander better, or I'll save Tommy and I could play Matt Fitzpatrick even if I wanted to. I could play Scott even if I wanted to. DFS purposes, Fitzy and Tommy are a little bit more appealing because they give you a $400 or $500 salary decrease from Xander, which can, if that can fit you a couple of other guys at the bottom, I think that could be worth it. Guys that I'm probably not going to have a lot of would be Sam Burns, probably not Colin Morikawa, probably not so much Robert McIntyre. I'll probably have more Justin Thomas and Jacob Bridgman than the field. I'll probably have more Ryohei Satsune than the field. I'll probably have more JJ Spawn in the field. The guys that I have favorited here, Sudarshan Yellow almost certainly. So, yeah. Oh, it says, hello, my DFS data daddy. Oh, my God. It's erotic. Are you on the couch or upstairs this weekend? And when does the betcast start? Okay. So yes, I'm in Ponte Vedra. The betcast, which is a PGA Tour feed, starts tomorrow. This year we have whip around ability, so we have access to every feed. We did not have that last year, so we're going to whip around, and then we've got feature holes, feature groups, players, this everything. I'm on the couch this week, which means I will be sitting there basically the whole time. It starts at 9:45 Eastern time. And then I think at 9:15 on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are based on like the cut and players and stuff like that. Considering Bridgman for one and done, it is appealing. I have Bridgman basically everywhere but one and done. I bet him to win outright. I have I'm playing him a lot in DFS. I have not used him in one and done. I guess I'm not against it. He is, I mean, obviously I think very highly of him. I do not care that he lost 2 strokes putting last week. I'm trying to think if it's worth it. He's won a signature event. He's going to be 1% owned. Okay. That's fine. What we might have to do, Mina. So Mina is telling me, I guess we could do this a different way. We could go to the responses. So she's telling me that she cannot get past page 20, which is the same problem that I'm having on that site. We could go to the remember the Google form, and we could find whoever's in the 1359 spot. And that could be the winner. I know that's not what we were planning on doing, but it's all random anyway, and we don't know who's in that spot no matter what. So that's one idea that we could do. All right. Where was I? Because I lost my spot. Crap. The data daddy thing got me all hot and bothered. Can we do a deep dive on Colin Morikawa's spine? Some other Tuesday show you used to be on is creating drama, saying he will WD after one shot for the min cash. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Could you imagine? Do you think Colin Morikawa needs $50,000? And you think he's going to grind for 3 days on the range because he wants $50K? I have no idea what his back looks like, obviously. But I do know that he has been... So the range cast is up, by the way. The greatest thing in the world, right? We can see what he's been doing. The range cast is live. So he's been on the range, and he went out his pro-am this morning. I don't know. I mean, I can't believe he played last week. Seemed pretty ginger. I need to make up some ground in my pick 2 league. Need some help with Henley and Xander. Which one would you use here, and which one would you use at Muirfield trying to plan ahead, and you can reuse a winner? Thanks. If I only choose one, I'm playing Henley here. I mean, Henley's better here than he is at Muirfield. There is so I put this in my newsletter this week. I don't have it handy, but go sign up for my newsletter. One of the perks of getting on shows like this, on the Betcast and on PGA Tour Live, is that they send us gobs and gobs of research, and the research team is incredible. And some of the stuff they've started to do is in regards to shot shape, and like, that's something we've been building, and like it's cool. There are some spots where this is almost a forced right to left shot course. So most players want to play left to right because of the dog legs and stuff, and because it's a less than driver course, and some guys just like cannot hit driver in two directions very easily. Usually when they want to do that, they club down. And because this is a less than driver course, is actually one of the highest right to left off the tee courses, because they're doing it basically because they want to, but their hand is being forced. So Akshay, who is right to left by nature because he's a left-handed player, still gets to hit the cut. So that I like. I also like the fact that he has won a signature event. I also like the fact that he's gained strokes on approaches 6 straight. I also like the fact that he's gained strokes with the putter in the same ones. Like, I like all of this. I like all of this a lot. Wondering what your thoughts on Ludwig are, knowing you took him to win the Players and the Masters. Yeah. Dude, I don't want to play the what if game because everybody can play this what if game, but Ludwig winning the Players and Cam Young winning the Masters would have been insane come-ups for me. Yeah, God. I'd be like winning one and dones, like big one and dones. Now, hey, they had 2-shot leads on Sunday. Those guys aren't going to close. The thing with Ludwig is this. For this week in particular, he's long and straight off the tee, works it whatever way he wants. He's going to be just fine there. I don't care that he lost strokes putting and around the greens at the Masters. I do kind of care that he seems to be stumped by these greens. 3.5 strokes lost over the 8 rounds that he's played here. I don't think it's the end of the world, but it downgrades him from like a 9 to like an 8.1. Okay, so exciting. He's kind of stuck there with a lot of those guys in the 9K range on DraftKings, where there's a lot of really good options. Cantlay has the history. Russell Henley is Russell Henley just the worst version of Ludwig or a better version of Ludwig for this golf course? I don't know. Cam Young is like no reason not to go away from Cam Young. He's a big right to left player, things that we liked about him last week as well. So, yeah, he's just kind of stuck in an awkward spot, but I'd be using as much as I can. Can you give the top 2 ownerships and pivots? I think we kind of did that, but basically, I mean, if you're willing to trust Colin Morikawa or Jake Knapp, or I actually don't mind going to Justin Thomas at all. I don't mind Jacob Bridgman at all. Those would probably be the places that I go. All of my one and dones are in contention. Ooh. I have found, so it says, is it better to cast a wide net by choosing 5 different players or start tightening up my player pool? I have found tightening is the way to go. The spray and pray has not worked for me historically. And then I think that kind of passes the sniff test, where you are, you're taking you just start taking like subpar players. I think you'd be better off, like if you have 5 entries or something, a 2 and 3 or a 2-2-1 or something like that. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do, Mina. Mina is telling me how this is going to work. All right. So as expected, not everybody who put an entry in put a form response in with their email address so I could get in touch with them. So what we'll do, and because 1359 is as far down the list as you can go, there are not 1,359 entries in there. So Mina is going to tell me the correct number of form responses, and then we're going to draw from there, which I guess we could have just done anyway, because we were just picking anybody. It didn't matter on your finishing position. So when she gets back to me with that, we will redo the wheel. But until then, I will carry on. All right, here's while she does that, I'll address the LIV stuff. Okay. One, I don't know anything, obviously. There's a lot of smoke. The Financial Times is reporting that at the very least, PIF is going to be taking back financial backing from LIV. It makes sense. I mean, listen, it is 5 years and $5 billion. You know, there is just no other industry in the world in which you could spend $5 billion and not get anything in return, unless you're like NASA or some space exploration program, right? I mean, just mind-boggling amounts of money. That does not even consider your place in the game, the geopolitical issues, just like from a financial standpoint. Now, there are other ways for LIV to make money, you know, because I've said this before, like because some leader of some country or whatever plays with Phil Mickelson to Pro-Am, and now they do a arms deal or an oil deal with Saudi Arabia. Is that worth it? Is that worth $5 billion for LIV? I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can make money. But golf was never going to be a profitable venture like this. And I'll say this last thing I'll say about this. You know, here's who it sucks for. It sucks for the LIV employees. It sucks for the fans in South Africa and Australia who had a proper golf tournament, like a professional golf tournament come, and they are starved for this. Like, it sucks for them. Everybody else can just get bent, right? Like, if I have to hear one iota from like John Rahm or Bryson DeChambeau, like crocodile tearsing this, like, just not for me. Is that going to happen? I imagine there's going to be, the PGA Tour could open up some pathways. The DP World Tour could open up some pathways, or they can sit out their year and come back however they want. Or some guys might not want to come back. I don't know. But it just seems like it doesn't seem like the PGA Tour or the DP World Tour have to reconcile anything. They can just say, hey, we'll see you in a year when your suspension's up. So I don't know. All right. Anyway, let's give out a all right. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to draw a number, and then Mina has the spreadsheet. So the new number is 1225. That is the amount of people. It's actually pretty good. The amount of people who actually filled out a form. So only like 200 people didn't. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than that. So 1225 here. All right. We are adjusting the wheel. The wheel has been adjusted. We are sharing the wheel. All right, here we go. Take two. Masters prize pack. We're spinning. And the winner is 783. Okay, now Mina, can you share your screen and tell us who 783 is? Here it comes. All right. She has her screen shared right now. 783. Shoebox. Congratulations, Shoebox. SHUBOX. Shoebox. Well done. Mina is going to grab that email address, and I'm going to email you and get an address. Congratulations, Shoebox. All right, Mina. Get me back to my screen if you could. That was a hell of a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to end up being. All right. We move on. We did Akshay. We did that. I have to find my spot again. Who are the best tee to green players on Pete Dye courses? All right, let's go. So, Holy Grail. How many years do you want here? Let's do, I don't know, back to 2021. It's kind of what I go back, like 5 years or so. And then we'll do Architect, Pete Dye. We'll also throw in Alice Dye. That'll get you a few more. Best tee to green players are Scotty Scheffler, Sudarshan Yelmaraju. Let's ride. 3 starts though. Morikawa, Ludwig, Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, Shane Lowry, Johnny Kiefer, Ryo Hisatsune. Come on, this guy. Is there anything he can't do? I'm eighth in my 24 person one and done league, about $800,000 back from the money. Who would you play this week? 8 out of 24. My options are Fitz, JT, Spieth, or Theegala. I would not play Theegala. Fitz would be like the logical safe option, but you're in the top third. You could probably play Fitz, assuming Henley catches a lot of steam. I think Fitz is going to be popular too, but I assume Henley's going to be the most popular. So I would say it's Fitz by a hair over Justin Thomas. Could you be talked into betting Corey Connors top 20 this week? Here's the fun thing. I could be talked into betting Corey Connors top 20 any week, because if you look at Corey Connors and his top 20 rate, it is basically one of the best on the PGA Tour, right? 55.5% dating back, whatever that was. I guess I have to get the architects out of here. Sorry, try that again. Right here. 44% in 86 starts, better than Fitzpatrick and Cam Young and Sung Jae and Ricky Fowler and all these other guys, right? It's a pretty high rate. So yes, I would have no problem. I bet Corey Connors top 20 constantly. This is the I guess we should probably do the Henley deep dive. So course fit is fantastic. Course form or course history, also pretty darn good. Probably not as good as it should be, but a lot of really high finishes. And recently, last 5 years, have been awesome. Recent form is great. Picked up 9.5 strokes on approach last week. The Masters, that was probably number one in the field. 12 strokes from tee to green. Short game's been sharp. Yeah, like it's just I get it. The reason why we picked you, because I picked JT one time last year too. The reason we did it is this. JT on short golf courses is very good. So if you go and look at the Holy Grail and go look at everybody in this field, just go back, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and then go to short golf courses. I think it's Scotty, and then I think it's JT. Sorry, it's Scotty Cantlay, JT. Okay, so JT is a short course crusher who, when everyone plays from the same position, gets to lean on his approach play, which is fantastic. And when everyone misses the greens, he has some of the best hands in the world. He just needs to putt a little bit, and he's fine. That is why we picked JT, and it's why I like him again for this week. Top 10 and top 1/3 in my one and done between JT, Mav, or Fitz, or do I just roll out Cantlay? I mean, honestly, Fitz, Cantlay, or I think I just said Fitz is a little bit better than JT. When you throw in Cantlay, it's kind of interesting because you could save Fitz for somewhere else. Fitz or Cantlay, now that I have those two options, but it's really, really close. Go with whatever you want. Struggling between JT and Rio this week. Oh, as much as I love Rio, it's still probably JT, right? I mean, JT is a world-class winner. We're not sure what Rio is just yet. Are we? Let me refresh this. I'm running a lot of stuff on my laptop right now. Notice the last few weeks, the optimals have been a couple hundred away from 50K. Anytime like the favorite wins, it gets pretty close to 50K. So Rory, I don't know what was the week before that. Whatever the week was before that, I know what you're talking about. I think it was like 49.5 and then 49.7 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Which two of these four would you play? I would play Akshay and Rio. Okay, my betting card for this week, which again, you should not bet. Don't bet this. Don't bet it. Don't bet it. Don't bet it. Your risk tolerance and your goals are very different than mine. But because I'm in Florida, I do have access to Hard Rock. So let me get this right here. And I might not be done, but I also have a bunch of. I'm a sucker for a good parlay. Okay, I have laddered. Bridgman and McNeely from winner through top 20. I've laddered Rio from like top 5 to top 20. And then I've also bet Xander outright. So really it's 3 outrights, right? It's like Xander, Bridgman, McNeely, and then laddering some of those other guys. And then introducing a Sudarshan, a Rio, and a Gary Woodland ladder. Good luck, us. Wyndham showing signs? Signs of what? Signs of illness? No, I kid. Without seeing whatever is going to pop up here. The idea of Wyndham Clark, the least inaccurate player on the PGA Tour, with the most curve on his golf ball, with overhanging branches and overhanging trees and lack of discipline to club down, feels like the worst idea in the whole world. Okay. Which means he'll probably win. I don't know what his history is here. Let's look together. Yeah. It's not great. It's usually tied very much to his putting. He has 27th, 3rd, 29th, 35th, 64th, 64th, 54th. And that third was 2024. That was when he was playing his best golf, right? That was LACC year. So, I mean, he goes on to win the US Open in 2 months after this. So he's playing the best golf of his life. Other than that, good Lord, this seems like a disaster. The putter is gone. He's tried like a new putter every week. Nothing is working. He's lost 7, 7, 2, 2, 3, 2. Odds LIV is done for good. I mean, it seems like it. It just, I don't know if it's going to be this week or at the end of the year. But could you imagine if they come out and announce tomorrow we're closing shop at the end of the year? Talk about lame duck. This is why managers are in sports don't do lame duck stuff. It's why presidents in lame duck years are like, what the hell is going to happen in a lame duck year if they play this out to the end? I don't know. Maybe they figure something out, but man, it's just truly crazy. Victor's around the green game has been a little peckish, right? So we had the 4 really good starts around the green, specifically DP World Tour into Phoenix. Then we lost it a little bit. Then we got it. Then we got it back to players. That was great, but probably a little bit unrealistic. If I remember correctly, he chipped in like 3 or 4 times. I swear, every time I saw him, he was chipping in, and then he has struggled again since then. So that's worrisome. I also think that like a golf course that allows him to hit driver, long straight driver, like, you know what I mean, or like major I don't know if this is a great spot for him. Clubbing down, hitting that, he's gonna hit that 3 iron, that utility iron. I feel like there's better spots for him. Hypothetically, if you had 2 $100 and 1 $500 free bets, this is impossible for me to answer because this is like entirely on your risk tolerance. I mean, you could go snap off a 4-person nationality parlay and try to turn 500 into 50K. But you also might just want to take like Scotty in a matchup versus Xander. Like this is impossible for me to answer. I tend to take the free bets and do something stupid, so I keep getting free bets. Rick, you often say team no putt. Can you clarify what this means? I don't know what it means, but it really means guys that consistently strike it well, ball strike, tee to green, and then they can't putt. Because the idea being that the skill set, the tee to green skill set, or the ball striking skill set is much more sustainable, and the putting, sometimes they're going to run into a putting week. I will actually say the way that I would like to frame it is a guy who's always good from tee to green, who has a huge delta or a huge range of outcomes with the putter. I actually think Ryo Hisasane is a great example of this. So let me pull up his profile, and you're going to see tee to green, tee to green, tee to green, tee to green, no matter what. And then you're going to see weeks where he loses 5 strokes putting, and he has weeks where he gains 4 strokes with the putter. And what's fun about this is even when he's not putting well, he can tee to green you to a top 20 finish. And then if he gains anything with the putter, he's legitimately in contention. So this is the combination of like, hey, team no putt and a pop putter. Somebody who can pop with the putter. A true team no putt is probably like, I mean, this year JJ Spawn is probably a good example, but that's not historically a good example. Probably, I mean, Keegan was for so long. Corey Connors, obviously. So look at JJ Spawn's. JJ is not a good example. What about Corey? Gosh, that's not really. I mean, like he's going to gain. That's not a good example either. How about Gary Willen's not going to be a good example either, but because he's putted better as of late. But he would have been one for a really long time. Luke List would have been a great one, right? Where you're just going to be tee to green, tee to green, tee to green, and then you're going to lose with the flat stick. And now I have 100 tabs open. All right. Is Shane a viable one and done option if chasing a bit? I would prefer you probably just play Bridgman, McNeely. I don't think you need to get to Shane. A bit confused why Sam Burns isn't more talked about this week. Driving accuracy with his drivers is his worst trait. He's elite from 50 to 125. The putter is hot also. Yeah, it's not bad. I think just the concern is that he is relying on the putter and that he can kind of cough it up at times. But I get it. He's a great modern type of player, and the iron play is heating up. I saw him at the Masters on Thursday. It was Thursday that he went nuts. Yeah, it was Thursday. He hit some iron shots that were delightful. What he did to number 2 on Thursday was shocking to see in person. You know, hits a drive around the corner, has a downhill. He's got a downhill lie. He hits it to 5 feet. It was piercing. So yeah, I like that the approach play is coming around. When he was like, remember he had that stretch where he got like those 5 wins in pretty rapid succession. I think he won did he win the Texas Open twice in a row, or he won something twice in a row. I guess I could just click here. It might have been Valero. It might have been Valspar. I think it was like Casey, Burns. He won Valspar. Yeah, he won Valspar back-to-back, 2021, 2022. Look at the approach numbers there, right? Like during those years, he was a really great approach player. That has not been the case, but he was last week and he was the week before that. So yeah, maybe it is a good call. That's funny. I'm going to lump these 3 questions together. Sepp Straka deep dive. He's got a pretty strong history here despite losing a bunch of strokes around the green and not being a very good putter. The recent play, I mean, I loved him leading into the Texas Open. He kind of burnt us there, losing 4 strokes from tee to green. Tee green stuff was much better at the Masters. I don't really care if you lose strokes on a putter. I mean, I'm a sucker for this guy. So call me a 6.5, 7 out of 10 on him. LIV Mexico picks. I don't know if that's a troll or not, but just to show you that I have it, I'll give it to you. So let's see here. LIV Mexico. Let's get everything in order here. What about, remember, they're at like 6,000 feet of altitude. What about Caleb Surratt? He's played okay on LIV, finished 11th here last year. Incredibly talented young guy. Yeah, he's been okay. I'm trying to get you something a little bit off the radar here. It's probably just a ROM week. God, he's just been dominant. Finished 4th here last year. I guess I would just be betting ROM. He's so much better than everybody else over there. Yeah. I don't know if that was a troll or not. Should I save Scotty for the U.S. Open or use him now? I mean, using him at the U.S. Open is tough, right? Like the variables are so much more at the U.S. Open. It's a bigger field. Who knows what Shinnecock looks like? Yeah, I think Scotty's going to be great for it, but like, what if they lose the golf course and he's on the wrong side of a draw or something like that? Here, I know he's getting 40 guaranteed rounds, and the purse is going to be bigger. I'd probably use him here. I don't think using Scotty at a major is like that great, considering the goal is we're trying to get money. Can anyone in the 6K range or 100 to 1 win this thing? No, I don't think that's true. And the history of signature events is pretty stout with like big time winners. I mean, is Bridgman the quote worst winner of a signature event? Akshay? I don't know. Like, I don't think just anybody in the 100 to 1 or 6K range can win this. Who do I think can? I think Gary could win it. I think Nico could win it. I think like not this week, but I do think Michael Brennan could win a signature event. I think Ryan Fox could win a signature event. That's probably it. Marco Penge will probably at some point, but have you ever calculated the average winning weeks or place finish one needs to be in the hunt, finishing in the money, or winning? This depends entirely on how big your league is. So like in my 5,000 person one, you're going to need, God, you might need $500,000 a week or something like that. But no, it's just so dependent. It's crazy. 2 and done. I haven't used Scotty and I'm in dead last. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time. Yeah, well, I don't know what was wrong with the website. So what, the Robert McIntyre stuff is so interesting, right? Because I was heavily invested in him at the Texas Open. What was it where he was in the final group and dude, I know this goes for everybody. Nobody wants to hear like bad beat stories. No one wants to hear that. But I feel like between the March Madness, which went fantastic, the Players, the Texas Open, the Masters, like I feel like I've been all over it. Some have worked out and some haven't. But like, man, could you imagine if those all go my way? I know that's not how it works, but Robert McIntyre. So he looks horrible at the Masters. There was I don't know if anybody can find it. I thought I saw a report that he injured his neck, or he was having neck discomfort. That could be a ruse because he flipped off a fan or whatever. And got reprimanded. So maybe that was all a ruse, but I thought I read that. And I don't know if that's been impacting him, but I guess all things aside, drives it well, putts it well. His history here is not that great. I mean, I would like this play. I like places for him that he can spray it a little bit more. He's not a particularly great wedge player. He's a better long iron player. Like Bobby Mack, I don't think this is a great spot for him. Smotherman is always the like low price tee to green guy. I played at I played right out here, not the stadium course, the Dyes Valley course on the other side of the property. TPC Sawgrass, Dyes Valley. Got off to a little bit of a slow start. It was 2 over on the back, which is actually the front 9. We started on 10. And I had a lot of good looks that I didn't make. I shot a 78. Did I say that? 2 over on the back. And one of the bogeys was that par 3, it's like 5 or 6 or something like that. I hit it in the water. I didn't go to the drop zone because I was frustrated. I was just like, let me hit it. It was pin high, 3 yards right. I then just re-teed it, hit it to like 6 feet and made the putt. I was like, okay, well, that's a sick bogey, I guess. All right. Oh, hope you feel better. So this is not fair. So baby gravy says over under chicken sandwiches consumed at ESPN this weekend. That's no fair. I've already had one today. And I don't know if you knew that or not. So I'm already at 1 in the cafeteria. Maybe. All right, let's talk about Goddard. This is kind of interesting, right? Because on paper, this is like kind of a weird spot for him. But we have seen guys like Cam Young who are, you would think this is not a great spot for him, end up like figuring it out. Is there any evidence? I mean, Sony's a pretty short course, but it's like bomb and gouge, not positional. Scottish, no. Is there any, like, has he played Pebble? 37th at Pebble. What about, God, there's really not, it's not his fault. He just doesn't have a lot of starts in some of these. There's not a lot of these positional golf courses. I don't think it's a great spot for him. I think he does not like to be hemmed in off the tee, and this place is going to make him feel a little claustrophobic. Yes, there is a second cut this week. In fact, it is at 5 p.m. tonight. We had to, because I was traveling yesterday, we had to do it tonight. So we'll talk all about the LIV stuff, do the good things. Second cut on YouTube. I don't know if we talked about, so I love Yellow Miraju. I don't know if it's necessarily a one and done selection, but he is long. He is straight. 38th in accuracy, 23rd in distance. He only really kind of has a one-way miss, which is right. Pretty strong from 150 yards and in. Vibing right now. Can we make the case that he, playing the Masters could have been a good thing for some of these guys? Highly motivated. I mean, I think I saw you. It's on my card. I saw, and I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but I saw a proposal, and I don't know if this is real or not. Like, hey, LIV says, hey, DP World Tour, you have to give all of our guys a 2-year card, and we'll invest in the DP World Tour. Now, I don't know if they want that. I don't know if that's welcome. I don't know if that's real. That would be a pretty big boon by LIV to like try to do right by their players on the way out. I'm not sure there's a lot of evidence that like they're going to do that, but I don't know. 3 sleepers to make the cut. Love a good sleepers. All right, 3 sleepers to make the cut. Let's see. How far down do I have to go? It's only wait. Did I just get got? There is no cut this week. Have I been to Harbor Town? I've never been to Harbor Town. I can't help you with that. Walk the course backwards. Definitely Gary. He won 2 starts ago. Less than driver course. He's been fantastic. It says, why not Gary? Definitely Gary. Okay, this is all I'll say about the CBS, the coverage thing. The CBS coverage was like not that great. It's the best thing in the world for CBS is that NBC exists, because the NBC coverage is like way worse. So the bar is very low, and CBS looks very good because NBC exists. Kevin Kisner, try to use that NBC as a gold standard. Tough scene. Tough. And I can tell you both the networks could do a better job. Everything could do a better job. There's problems in all of them. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Is Siwoo playable in one and done? That is interesting. The idea of playing Siwoo in a signature event scares me, but this is a die course that demands accuracy and precision. It's a place that he's played pretty well at. I'm going to say Siwoo is maybe the darkest horse I would go with. Did you do the Splash Trade giveaway? No. I need them to give me the names. So when they give me the entries, I will do all that. Oh, I did not get the Condoleezza Rice strokes gain data from Pebble. I'm so stupid. That's on my list. No, I'll have to do that. I'm sorry, Andrew. I'll get to that. I only have 6 minutes left because I have a hard stop today, which is unfortunate. And Amina's already giving me the look. She's already giving me the look. Let me find the best ones. I've answered a lot of these, which is good. We need. I think this is the only Pete Dye course Siwoo hasn't won at. It's probably true. Do I like Fitzy to win? I didn't bet him to win, but I mean, he's probably would have been like my 5th or 6th option. The Sungjae stuff is so fascinating because it looked like he was back, and then it does look like he wasn't back. So I can't. I don't want to beat him up for too bad for losing 5 strokes on approach to last week, but he also lost 1 in Houston. He also lost 4.5 at Bay Hill. Like, it has not been all that good. It's okay. You can leave that much on the table, $1,500. That it is true. I have to go eat, and I actually have a production meeting I have to go to, and then we are going to do the second cut at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I appreciate you all having that's why we moved this up 30 minutes so that I could do that. So I do have some other obligations. I appreciate you all hopping on. We're going to do second cut later. ESPN Plus, all 4 days starting at 9:45 Eastern tomorrow. It's the Betcast. It says DraftKings on it. My beautiful face will be on there. Love you all. Goodbye.